I want you to move like this into impact. We're going to talk body, we're going to talk hands, I'm going to talk two different variations depending on your flexibility level, because we all know it's not easy for us all to be very body active. So let's get this sorted for you right now. Hi everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. PJ Professional, Alex Elliott here, and I've got you covered with today's daily tip. So let's start from the down the line perspective on this. And I want you to imagine my belt here, so my whole black belt. I'm going to roll this up for you. And what I want you to feel is, I want you to see that the hips are going to be sort of on this angle as we come into the golf ball, not where we see most of us sort of standing up and these hips level. Okay, I want you to have your best chance, okay, and just do it in air swings like this to the top, belt buckle on an angle, and you can see the left side not standing up like this. And I really like this analogy because it's something I can take to the golf course and take that feeling with me. So it's feeling this. So I want you to come into impact like this with the body. So for all of us right now, I want us to do that aspect as best we can, okay? That's a really important factor, and what that would look like with a golf club in my hand would be very much like this. Trying to really feel as though I'm coming into the golf ball like this. Look at my belts, look at how this is sort of on an angle, as opposed to coming into the golf ball very much like this. Okay, so let's show you two slow-mos over this. Number one, what we want, and number two, not what we want. Okay, now it's time to actually stand from that face-on perspective, and don't worry, I'm not going to hit one towards the camera. So the first point I want you to take from this is really trying to feel how our belt is sat through the golf ball as opposed to being level. Let's get it more over, and this would give us this look to impact, okay? I now want to discuss two slightly different variations. Now this will depend on your flexibility level. It's going from, like, say, Brooks Koepka's really powerful rotation feeling to the aspect of actually allowing this club to release a little bit more. And the reason why I want to tell you two aspects, we all can't compare ourselves to Brooks, to Jon Rahm. It's not realistic. These guys are unbelievable athletes. And on that note, what did we think of the golf, PGA? Mickelson winning, I thought it was brill, absolutely brill. The only thing I'd say is, like, I wish more like JT, Rory were up there and sort of a bit more of a spectacle. It's not taking anything away from his performance. Obviously, he beat them all anyway. They didn't make the cut, some of them. So, let's talk about variation number one. So if I was just to stand here and put this club into this delivery position, okay, and I stand with this noodle cutting me in half. If I just rotate and turn, look how my hands exit to the left of this noodle, but my club head stays out, okay? This would be sort of quite a passive release with the arms. Doing that now over in golf posture, in that position, club head stays out, hands work in. Now this is where we see that sort of nice athletic position and the impact that works like this, and it really feels as though our hand path is working left, and essentially I'm not actually doing anything with the arms there. They're just moving as a result of me rotating. So let's now extend this noodle. So we've spoken about standing up tall and these hands working left and this club head staying out. This over in golf posture would look very much like this, that classic position right here. So what I want you to feel is, for you athletic golfers out there, really rotate with the body, passive with the hands, hands work in, up and left, this position right here. Really feeling this position, so really mirroring, so the club head is feeling like it mirrors this. It's not and through. That would be sort of look like this, hands away and through, really flippy in that release. We want to be more passive with the hands, we want to be a little bit more athletic with the body. Hands work left, in, up, mirroring this right here. So practice it, stage 1, practice it, stage 2, practice it, stage 3. Now comes the face on perspective here, because as we know, that's not for all golfers. But if that is for you, I want you to stand there and just try and hit one away, really feeling as though you pose this finishing position, really active with the body. So let's hit this one away here. Pose that finishing position, and it's really going to feel like we've got a lot of clout down at that ball. Very passive with those hands. So we'll put some slow-mos over this as well, and that'll be really good for us to see. Let's now move on to what I think is going to be a more realistic option for us all as golfers. Now, by all means, we don't want to see this club travel away from us and scoop like this, but for a lot of us feeling like it's very passive with the hands in this motion in our finish and trying to picture this finish, I don't think that's quite realistic for us all. What I want us to have, like I said, is that element of the belt buckle. But what I don't want us to be scared of is that little bit of more release with the forearms. So look at the difference in my finishing position here. My right hand in the end has crossed my left, whereas before we were very much more in this position. Left hand on top of right, whereas I think for most of us, that right hand over left is a really nice space for us to be. So let's hit this one away now, show you that position here. Still active with the body, still not feeling as though I'm flipping the golf club, but really feeling as though I'm allowing the arms and body just to work together. And a nice simple analogy for that is throwing that rugby ball as opposed to holding the finish off. Now we see that classical finish, and I want to just sort of go into those two, finishing off this video here. Back to this face on perspective down the line, we'll just show you the differences. So what we don't want for either of these is head smashing through this line and the hand staying out. So you don't want this aspect. What we want is an element of this aspect and working up the line. But for most of us, if we find that halfway point, so somewhere around here. So my head is still tracing this, my hands are exiting a little bit left, but I'm allowing that club to release slightly. If you're really athletic, you can stand there and really feel this finish. Hope you enjoyed today's video. It's a nice simple one about how I want you to come into impact and into that follow through. Think of the belt buckle, think of this position, try each of those follow throughs, and I think for most of us, the final one is going to be the best one.